What's up everyone? Mikey here again with another video coming to you from the Gravecade. Again, we don't have the cabinets on because we're going to do another installment of What's in Your Cabinet. A series where basically what I do is I go through the parts inside of cabinets, talk about why I bought them, and then just a little bit of a backstory and history about the cabinet, the day it showed up to my door until now. I've done this already on the new Astro City, so if you haven't checked that out, please do. But yeah, so we have a very unique episode today because we're going to be talking about two cabinets at the same time. And those two cabinets are going to be these Blast City cabinets. The reason why I'm doing both of these is because this is a very unique setup. They are both in TATE mode, so they're both vertical. They both have individual player joysticks, so there's one joystick here and one joystick here. But we could play a game together. So I'm calling this the co-op setup instead of a versus, because usually versus is like landscape. You're usually playing like your fighting games like Street Fighter and that kind of stuff. Cabinets are back to back or side by side, but you're fighting against each other. You're battling. This you're usually playing co-op because you're playing like a shoot 'em up, like So when you're trying to like 1cc together. So there's that aspect of it, but there's another very unique thing about this setup where you can basically turn it into a no-op setup with a click of a button or a snap of a finger, or there's a toggle and a button at the same time. So I'm going to say snap of a finger because it's really quick to do it. But you can make it so that you're playing a game together, or just like that, you can have individual games being played. So, so you could 1cc together, or you could 1cc on your own. Just choose your own adventure there. But yeah, so yeah, I guess we could just go through this and just kind of go through each one of the parts here. So first things first is I'm going to start these up. It takes a little bit for these to start because they both have PCs in them. So just to let you know, you cannot run PCBs in both of these cabinets. This setup is only meant to run PCs. I had one running a PC and one running a PC with a PCB. It blew up the PCB. So don't do it. Just only stick with the PCs with this setup. So anyways, this one has its own power. So there's a what do you call those, like power strips with the power for the cabinet and the PC. And then we've got the same thing here. So this one has its own as well too. So first thing first is what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the PC here. We're going to give this one a sec because there's a thing that happens whenever you turn a PC on. It's not going to send the correct frequency to the monitor. It's going to be too high and it may damage it. So you always have to give it a little bit of a sec. I'm running for software for both of these PCs is Batocera. So yeah, so what you need is a 15 kilohertz signal, and right now it's probably at like 48 or something like that. So you got to give it a sec. Once Batocera boots, it's going to go into 15 kilohertz. It doesn't really take that long. So I think I should just be able to turn on the cabinet now. So let's flip the switch here and we should automatically be able to see Batocera loaded. Here we go. Cool, cool, cool. I could switch things around. I've got a really cool vertical front end here with a bunch of different systems in here. We even have Batoparrot in here. And I'm also able to run Steam. So I have Steam running on both these. So I could download, vertical games as well too and play. So that's a really, really unique and cool thing about these cabinets as well too. So, so yeah, say 2000 is a seller on eBay. He makes all of this artwork. It is amazing stuff. I have so much of his art. I have a collection of his art because I will hopefully one day have some sort of space to have all of this to the public, and then I could like rotate games. But anyways, check him out. He also has an Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description as well too. Makes all this great artwork. Same thing here. So yeah, so while this is on, let me turn this one on now. So let's turn on this PC. So this is going to turn on, and again, we have to give it a sec here. So while we're doing this, I'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with this cabinet. So yeah, so these control panels are actually, this is a third-party control panel made by a gentleman named Rafael Tamanini. He's based out of Brazil. So I've got a panel here. This is another panel of his. I bought both of these from him. And then, yeah, so we have an LS40 here. So this is an LS40 Senmitsu. And then we've got Sanwa buttons here. And again, we've got the Say 2000 artwork here. Esperade is the game here. So a really great cave shoot 'em up. But yeah, so let me open up and show you what's under the hood here, at least with the control panel. So again, you know, the LS40, and then we've got this, this is a third-party wiring harness. It's from a gentleman named Arcadiac. I think he's based out of Canada. Yeah, it is white, so it's hard to tell, but they do have like individual color-coded little things here that you could see how there's colors here. So it's not that confusing because everything is a little bit color-coded, but very minimal. So it gives it a very, very minimal setup. So again, this is only one player, so all I have is just one player hooked up. I've got the ground, and then we've got this controller here, this Bluetooth keyboard, and this is just basically so that I could exit games, or if I need to do any debugging inside of Batocera, like get in the terminal, that kind of stuff, run the OS system, do things behind the scenes. So, and I usually just keep it under the control panel so that, you know, no one's accidentally exiting games and like that kind of stuff. So that said, I think that this is ready. Let's turn this mug on. Boom, I could hear it. It's sizzling. I could hear that tube sizzle. Yeah, same thing, another artwork, different one. We've got a Dodonpachi Diojo here. Beautiful, man. I love this artwork. I'm a huge cave fan. Same thing here. And again, LS40. And then we've got some Sanwa buttons here. But yeah, so if I open up this panel here, it's going to be a little different from the other one. Same thing, same Arcadiac harness here. Again, I'm gonna leave links in the description for all of the stuff that I've bought as well too. I'm not making any money off of this stuff. I'm just trying to support. So they are, you know, I'll leave the links. They're just not like direct affiliate links. I'm not making any dough off of that. So again, so we've got the one player here, but you may notice that this is a little different. So I have two players coming in here. And you're also going to notice that I have this, and we'll go into this. I'm going to give you a little history on these cabinets for a sec too. So yeah, so this is player 2, and I have a player 2, it's player 2 and then ground, and that is going into this little tiny button right here. And this is what's gonna make it so that I could switch in between co-op and no-op mode. So right now we are actually in no-op mode right now. So as you can see, this is its own game. This is its own game. It's Batocera UI running right now, but you can see that they're not the same. The other thing that we also have here is that toggle I mentioned earlier. So I have a button and a toggle. What the toggle is going to do is that is going to make it so that this arcade cabinet will either be able to use controls on this side or not. This will always run controls on this side. So I have to have a toggle to be able to shut it off. So if I go into co-op mode, turn it on, and then that way I have the second player, you know, being able to be two players at the same time. If it's on this cabinet, if I leave that toggle on, it's still going to control that side. So you have to have a switch to turn it off in order to just be in no-op mode. So that's why that's there. But yeah, let's elaborate on this. So both these cabinets came from Casey from LA, or not from LA, from I think he's in Orange County. I can't remember exactly where he is, but they both showed up at my doorstep and none of them turned on. Actually, one of them turned on. One of them I turned it on and it went directly into protection mode, so it didn't even work. That one actually was a Blast City chassis with a new Astro City tube, which I thought it was going to be stock. That's what I asked for, but that's what I got. That one didn't even start. And then the other one actually had a Blast City chassis with a Blast City tube. I turned it on, and 10 seconds later, the unthinkable happened where the chassis blew up the tube and arced it. And that is a known thing with these cabinets. If you are interested in buying a Blast City, do your research, read about it. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's a time bomb that's waiting to happen. So this right now is not even a stock Blast City tube. This is a Funai tube that I took out of a television. So this is a donor tube that I rigged up. So it is a donor tube running an MS9 chassis right now. I'm I ended up having the Blast City chassis repaired because obviously it blew up the tube, so that got repaired. And then this one's actually running the Blast City chassis, but it's running an MS9 tube. So again, it's so weird. But I do have a friend that I ended up getting 2 new tubes from, or used tubes. Dave from Psychic Drive. He was gracious enough to sell me 2 Blast City tubes. So once I have some time, I'll be able to make that switch. But right now we got 2 Frankensteins going. So yeah, that's a little history on that. But yeah, that's just the nature of Blast Cities, and I don't want to blame Casey too hard on it. It did travel all the way from California all the way to here to Michigan. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was a little bit of a nightmare. But I got him running now, so we're all good. So anyway, so yeah, I think the next part, I want to go into here and just talk a little bit about what's inside here. So we have the PC here. I'm going to do like a little video montage here just to kind of like go over some of these parts so it's a little bit easier to look at. But we do have an amp, an audio amp that's here. And then we have a PCB that's sitting here that's hooked up to the JAMA Edge. So what this is, the audio is, the reason why I have that audio amp here is because I need to send audio to this cabinet as well too. And I'm sending audio to this cabinet, and I'm sending audio to a OSSC for video capture. So I do have this set up so that I'm able to capture video as well too on here, which is really cool. So if I do, co-op, we could do video into one OSSC, and if we'll go into this one, but I have an OSSC in this one as well too if we do no op. So then each individual player can just have video capture for their games. So anyways, I don't think I mentioned this, but I am going to include a wiring diagram in this description of the video as well too, just to show you exactly how this is all hooked up. But yeah, basically that. So it's basically, I have 2 USBs coming out of here. One of those USBs is going into this JAMA PCB. So it's a PC to JAMA PCB. And then I have another one that's going all the way into this cabinet. So we'll talk about this cabinet next. So that one that's going all the way back here is it's this one in the back right here. So it's the exact same PCB, but this time it's going back here. And what this is connected to is this is the Mike's Arcade JAMA switcher. And what this does is it makes it so that you're able to switch. So here's the JAMA Edge for this cabinet here. And then what I'm doing is I'm able to switch between different PCBs. And then what happens is this is going to switch out, go to here. So this is going to be the co-op version of it here. So this is the switcher for that. And then the one in the very, very back, I think I messed it up when I said it earlier, but the one in the very back is the one that's actually for no op for this one. So hopefully I didn't get that backwards, but you'll see it in the wiring diagram how it's all hooked up. And again, this one has its own individual PC, and inside as well too, you'll see that there is the OSSC back there for video capture. I don't have it on right now, but usually I'll switch that on as well too and then start doing capture. So yeah, again, I'm gonna have a wiring diagram for all of this. One of the call outs on this thing is right now, as of filming this, you're not gonna be able to buy the PC to JAMA converter. It is something, a seller from AliExpress. US is blocked, man. So if you're in the US, it ain't happening right now because of things that are going on. But hopefully that will change. I did end up finding someone just recently on arcade projects that ended up living in Canada and bought one and sent it over to me. So maybe you could find that for yourself. But again, I'm gonna have links for everything. So good luck with you. If you're in the US and you're trying to buy stuff, hopefully you could do it. So anyway, so yeah, so now that we know the parts, let me elaborate a little bit and kind of go over how the switch works. So the way the switch works is, so let me open this up real quick. So if you look here, again, I have that button here. So the way that the Mike's JAMA switcher works is you have to hold down player 1 here. So I have the button down here and then player 2 at the same time. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna auto switch automatically. So let me do this real quick here. I'll put this back a little bit more. And then so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold down player 2. Let me hold down player 2 and just do 1. And there you go. So now you can see that it switched over. Now we're in co-op. Now we're in this mode. Okay, so now we're in co-op mode, and then this was in no-op mode. So you can see no-op mode, controller, and then if I go into co-op mode, you'll see that I can't control anything because I need to turn on that toggle switch. So I turn on that toggle switch, now all of a sudden I can control, okay? And if we go back to, if you look real close here, I'll go pull this back a little bit more as well. You'll see that I'm able to use player 2 as well too. So player 1, boom, 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 boom. Player 2, boom, boom, boom. And then let me show you why you need to have the toggle. So if I go back into this mode again to no op, you're gonna see that player 1 is still controlling player 2. So you have to have a toggle switch to just turn it off, and then you're like good to go. So then now I'm back to here again. I think I forgot to mention this. I'm running Steam on this as well too. I think I already mentioned that. Okay, anyways. I'm running Steam. You could do vertical games, download them, that kind of stuff. This is all hooked up to the network. So yeah, even new games and modern games that are coming out, I could download them. That's why this is so unique. So anyways, also leave in the comments, have you ever seen a TATE co-op cabinet before? Let me know. But yeah, other than that, same thing. We've got a controller in here. And but yeah, I'm going to leave everything in the description for parts. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of What's in Your Cabinet. We've got more cabinets to do in the future. I'm slowly piecing together some more stuff with this one. But yeah, so I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. Wiring diagram is going to be there. And yeah, so hope you enjoy, and we will see you later. Goodbye. Surprisingly, there are people that can beat this game with 1 quarter.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Believe it. Believe it.